I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. I have no boyfriend and I'm very sexually frustrated. I'm very lonely. I'm 21. I have no friends. I have no partner.
I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but that feeling when you feel like you're alone and it can't get any lonelier than this, bro.
I just had like the craziest, saddest thought. Um, I'm in the stage of life where I'm watching all my friends get married and have babies and find love. And my friend was like, you'll meet the one day, don't give up. But now I'm at a point where I hope I don't, because what happens if I meet him and he wants kids and I'm too old to not be able to give him any?
This afternoon, and I will tell you how. So I live in an apartment complex and I live alone. I am very single, and there was a tornado warning. I'm watching the Weather Channel. It appears as though this potential tornado is coming directly towards me. They're telling me to take shelter. Probably just going to die alone. I don't have to go through this alone. I can get over there. So I sprint across to the building in the pouring down rain with my little dog. I get in there. I look around. It's all of the old ladies and their little dogs that live alone in my apartment complex. And they all went over there so they didn't have to die alone either. I'm the old lady with the little dog in the apartment complex too.
It's interesting. Some people want the perks without realizing the pressure that comes with it. Men deal with expectations, responsibility, and competition constantly. It's not glamorous, it's consistent. It's not loud, it's heavy. Everybody wants the spotlight. Not everybody wants the weight.
I predict in the next 10 to 20 years, you are going to see a spike in females having mental instability problems because of all the attention they're getting thanks to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen girls, right? Like female celebrities, right? From like the 2000s, etc. They're all going crazy. Why? Because they hit the wall. They're not able to have the same sexual market presence they used to have 10, 15 years ago, etc. And they're famous. Here's the scary part. There's girls right now that have not maybe Britney Spears level fame, but damn near close. Instagram model type chicks that have that same level of attention that they're getting, that Britney Spears was getting in the early 2000s. And there's a lot of them. So you're going to see a bunch of chicks going crazy like Britney Spears, because a lot of girls are getting Britney Spears level type attention today thanks to social media. So y'all are going to see a bunch of girls acting crazy like that.
Yeah, and I don't do casual nothing, bitch. No casual hookups, no casual texting. Don't even casually fucking breathe near me, bitch. When it comes to the motherfucking queen, it better be eloquent, it better be fucking extravagant, and all done for me. Fuck is we talking about? Ain't shit casual about me, bitch. You better step your motherfucking cookies up.
I am 30 years old and never had a Valentine. Aside from my parents being my Valentine and they stopped at an early age, I've never had a Valentine. Like, damn, nobody thought enough of me to give me a pack of nerds. Nobody thought enough of me to give me some flowers. God forbid somebody think enough of me to do the whole hotel, rose petal, candle lit scenario. Back in high school, I was in a relationship with the guy, and it was my first Valentine, my first relationship, so I'm excited. I go to Walmart, bought him a big ass teddy bear. Mind you, I ain't got no job and no vehicle, so how in the hell? Anyway, just imagine a 17-year-old on a bus with a big ass teddy bear. You the only person with a big ass teddy bear on the bus. Just to get off the bus and this man say, "Oh, I didn't know we was buying each other gifts because we didn't discuss it." And then that next year, he was in a relationship with somebody else and he bought her something. I can't lie, that shit hurt. It hurt real bad. But yeah, another year, no Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
I've never had a Valentine in my whole 23 years of living on this earth. The closest thing that I had to a Valentine was when they used to give out the little cards when we was in school, the little cards, the little candy, whatever. But you know what? Maybe I'm just meant to be single, and that's okay. That's okay. I've been chilling since I've been by myself, but it do get a little lonely.
Well, well, looks like actions have consequences after all. Independence means ownership. Ownership means results. If you say you don't need validation, then stand on that. Thrive on that. Real strength isn't loud. It's consistent.
Let's do Bumble, starting with you. You gonna say yes or no?
No. 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 The tongue out was crazy. No. 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 No.
He goes through literally 100 dudes, and she says no on every single one of them. She even says, oh, that guy's hot, several times, and then still says no. And it's like, where are your standards at? Like, are you looking for Jesus Christ himself? Like, what do you think you're going to get off of a dating app? I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't think there's a male loneliness epidemic. I think there is a female loneliness epidemic. Because y'all are lonely and miserable because your standards are so crazy high. Like going through 100 people and not swiping right on any of them. Not only not swiping right on any of them, she didn't even say, oh, let me see some more of that person. She said, oh, he's hot, but no. Oh, he's hot, but no. It's like, okay, if you're initially attracted to the person, why aren't you going through their profile to see if you're interested in other things that they're doing other than the very first picture that you see? And this is another reason I just don't believe when women say, oh, you gotta make sure your profile's blah, blah, blah. Like, do your profile like this. But like, it doesn't matter. Because y'all are just swiping no anyways. And like, she's not even that attractive of a girl. Like, Brian goes back and he's like, whatever her name is, an average looking girl. Like, she's not bad looking. But she's like a 6, 7, maybe on her best day. And she's just constantly saying no to potential guys she could date. Yeah. Female loneliness epidemic, not a male loneliness epidemic.
Notice something? They didn't even read the bio. That tells you a lot. In today's world, people swipe on the cover, not the character. It's not about who you are. It's about how you present. Image over substance. Aesthetic over depth. But here's the truth. Covers fade. Character doesn't.
The time I love being single. I am very comfortable being single. But tonight I hung out with friends and I had a great time. And then I was driving home and I started feeling this wave of depression and anxiety. And I wasn't really sure what it was related to or where it was stemming from. And then I got home and I felt just so sad and lonely. And I walked into my empty apartment and I thought, God, I wish that I had someone who could just hold me right now. I wish that I had someone who could just take care of me, because I have to take care of myself every single day and it's fucking exhausting. And I just want someone to take care of me every now and then.
Okay, realizing a pet isn't the same as raising a child. That's kind of funny. Look, having a cat or any pet is great, but it's not the same responsibility as building a family. Sometimes we substitute companionship for commitment, and sometimes that's by choice. different paths, different priorities.
A woman being lonely in her 40s, at no point between 20 and 40 did she get a slap in the face.
As a woman in her 40s, can I just say to women in their 20s and 30s, you're fine. You're fine. You don't need to settle for what this bullshit kind of peddling, I'm my masculine so she can be in her feminine crap.
Do I really reply? Do I need to reply? My love, we weren't talking about you. You're welcome to be single. I don't want to say anything cruel because I'm really a man filled with so much love in my heart. But you've chosen to be single by the choices you made in your life. There is an epidemic of male loneliness. There is. But it's a joint effort because society needs children. I'm not going to say anything further, but trust me, my love, you can stay lonely because no man of value deserves a woman that doesn't take care of herself. Apologies. I wish you love, I wish you happiness, but you do you. You continue to do you. We're happy without you for society. We need healthy humans that strive to reproduce, do good with themselves, and then do better for other people.
Now this was a sight for sore eyes. In the middle of all the noise and
I'm just so fucking lonely. I don't think I ever expected being in a situation where I am actively trying to make connections and not being able to do so. That is strange. And that feels like a product of age. It feels like there are so many people who have friends that they carried in from other phases of life or who they found circumstantially in a very specific phase of life. I'm not finding other people who are 40 who are looking for fresh, brand new, from scratch, deep connections, new friends from square one. And it has been absolutely brutal. I'm 40 years old. I'm going to be 41 in October. And I have never felt this lonely in my life. And I certainly never expected that at 40 is when I would feel this level of loneliness. Some of that, of course, is just moving to a new city and being literally in a place where I don't have friends. That is certainly an actual piece. But it has been one of the most demoralizing, discouraging, just depressing seasons of my life. It has been really, really hard. So if you have tips on how to make friends at 40 years old, especially in a new city, please let me know. I've done the apps. I've been on Bumble BFF. I've been on forums. I've joined several really big Discord servers of local girls. I've tried to go to meetups. I've gone out to happy hours. I've joined a couple clubs. Like, I am literally doing all the things that I can think to do. But here I am, feeling so sure that there's like a person nearby who could be my DC person, but I just can't find her. So.
Hate to say it, but friendship and partnership aren't the same thing. Friends care about you, sure, but unconditional loyalty, standing through every storm, that's usually reserved for a life partner. And when you don't have that foundation, things don't magically get easier with time. They get lonelier.
Notice how there's no female loneliness epidemic? We're like going back to school and becoming the most educated we've ever been in all of history. We're advancing in our careers and climbing the corporate ladder and becoming the breadwinner in a lot of our families.
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. God, have I even tried? Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything.
We're traveling with our friends and taking Pilates classes and learning how to cook or sew or paint.
I'm telling you, that singleness only hits you at night. When you ripping and running throughout the day, when you at work, when you know, whatever extracurricular activities, when you're doing hobbies, when you're at the gym, you don't even care about being single. That's not even on your mind. But when you pull up to the house at night and you get in that bed alone, that's when you be like, I really wish.
We are developing ourselves and strengthening our bonds with other women.
Still on my mind, do we build it up?
The burden of change or the burden of proof in this intergender war is often placed on men, right? And the evidence in part is a lot of men are lonely. They're suffering from a loneliness epidemic. Y'all need us. We don't need you. We have our friends, we have our activities, our groups, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't get the other side of the narrative where, no, they're lonely too. It's just easier for them to not appear that way. The branding is better, right? But the company is also failing.
I saw the way that they cheered, many of them, when Kevin Samuels died. Our replacement rate is so bad. And so many men are opting out of relationships, not even trying to get married. Women are now having to decide if they're just going to have children by themselves or not at all. We have a lot of people that are heading towards becoming genetic dead ends that have made it to this point in history. And I'm talking about females. There was always a smaller percentage of men that were always able to reproduce in comparison to women. And this is the first time in Western countries where such a large demographic of women are in danger of not reproducing. I know when the stats are saying that they're using antidepressant and antipsychotics more than probably potentially ever before. I don't care what social media trends are saying. I'm looking at the data that's saying you're not taking antidepressants and antipsychotics because you're happy, because everything's going well. Most of y'all are complaining about how much you have to work when this is what you signed up for, not knowing that you have to keep working until your situation change. When we choose to speak on these things, we know that time is the ultimate teacher. There's just men that's telling you the truth and they're saying it in a way because they get genuine enjoyment out of you all finding this out after the fact and being humiliated. And then there's actual men that care about the state of the community and the relationship between men and women and want us very quickly to grow up and realize if y'all don't get out of the superficial stuff, if you don't get out of your ego, if you don't stop displaying a lot of the narcissistic traits that you're projecting and claiming onto everybody else, and if you don't realize that if you're the common denominator in all your failed relationships, there's clearly something you're doing wrong and you need to change. And perhaps you're poor at mate selection, especially ladies who are so proud of the sexual liberation movement and feminism and all the rights and choices and freedoms that they have. If from 18 to 28, your primary goal and function was to pass a test, and you can take that test as many times as necessary, and you have failed that test for 20 years, you do not get to run around and say that you passed the test. You do not get to say that the person who gave you the test was the issue, and you do not get to blame the other students who did not take the test for you. If you had 20 years of trying to do the same thing, and you are no closer to it than when you turned 18, you are functionally, relationally a failure. You may be a success in the work arena. You may be successful in a whole bunch of other areas. But in the area and topic of relationships and doing life with men, you are functionally failing. And rather than getting a tutor, rather than getting a mentor, rather than getting a guide, or exploring the possibility of maybe I need to better understand and learn what men are looking for and expecting from me in order to be able to better do life with the man that I want or the type of man that I want, you would rather Mother Nature, time, and reality smack you in the face, and then you end up on these type of clips.
Here's the hard truth. It's easier to point fingers than to look in the mirror. When accountability is missing, nothing really changes. Some men have stepped back, focused on themselves, built in silence. And yet, the frustration is still there. Maybe the issue isn't men. Maybe it's mindset.